In this video, I'm going to walk you through the only driver setup you will ever need. These are the exact fundamentals and they're responsible for longer, straighter and more consistent drives. As always, I'm not going to overcomplicate it and fill you with lots of technical words. I'm going to keep it simple, keep it quick and easy for you to take straight out onto the golf course to hit better drives. But before we get started, if I can just ask you one favour, and it'd be hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out and means you'll never miss a video like this ever again. So with that being said, let's get into it. Number one is the ball position. So the ball position with the driver is super unnatural, but it needs to be done because we've got the help now of a huge tee and a pretty large face. So the ball position needs to be just on line with our lead heel like so. I see a lot of golfers set up to this like they would with the irons, middle of stance, it's going to cause you to hit down inconsistent shots. Instead, that forward stance is going to allow you to sweep up on the ball and it's going to allow you to hit further and longer drives. In doing that, we need to take this trail foot back wide. So again, rather than having a narrow stance like we would with our irons, we need to go wide to make sure we've got lots of stability and we've got a good grip on the ground to get that ball going far. The easiest way to gauge this is just pop your toes together, take half a step forward and 3 steps back. Straight away, ball position ticked, wide stance ticked. From there, let's just feel that our weight is 60% in the trail side. So not like with our irons where we're pretty much 50-50. Now we want to see the majority on our trail side, which again, is just going to allow us to sweep up on the ball. Number 2 is the distance that we stand away from the ball. Now the driver, it's a super long club. And this is where I see a lot of golfers going wrong because they either stand too close like they would with the irons, just look, I'm stuck, this is going to limit my rotation. And the opposite, they stand too far away to really feel a stretch. You're going to cause a lot of inconsistency. So ideally, we want our arms to be just underneath our nose like this. This is going to give us the perfect distance away without reaching and without standing in too close. The best way to gauge this, bring the club straight out in front, bend from the hips, where that club lays flat, where the ball needs to be. From there, take our stance, popping the weight in the balls of our feet. The hands are hanging underneath our nose. I'm ready to go. Number 3 is maybe one of the most important but underrated parts to the driver setup, and it's the shoulders. The shoulders now need to be angled so that our trail shoulder sits lower than our lead shoulder like this. Again, I see most golfers set up to the driver pretty standard when it comes to the shoulders. You can see this is going to cause me to hit down. However, now we need this angle here on our spine tilted back to allow us again to sweep up on the ball. This comes pretty seamless with ball position. Once we take that wide stance back, you can see how naturally my shoulders drop. But it's easy to miss this part out, and I'd say it's the most crucial part to gaining the height and consistency with your driver. The best way of gauging this is get yourself into setup, so ball position, wide stance. From there, take your trail hand, pop it on the side of your thigh, run it down to your knee, and then join the 2 hands together. Straight away, this shoulder is lower than the lead shoulder. My spine is tilted and just look at my sternum. My sternum is not in front of the ball, it's set behind the ball. Why again? It's just going to make it so seamless to hit up and not down. Just to add with our sternum and our shoulder tilt, let's place the club so that it points a line with just left of our belly button. Too far back, straight away it's pointing us off to the left. Too far forward, we're pointing off to the right. So just set it naturally, left the belly button, and I'm ready to go. So the next one is aim and body alignment. So this is where I see a lot of golfers, they've set themselves up for disaster. They've aimed the feet, the shoulders, the hips in the wrong direction in comparison to the club, which before you've even swung the club, it's going to curve right, curve left, and it's going to be inconsistent. So let's talk about it and how we can best approach this and how we can include this in our pre-shot routine. Because if you can do this correct every time, then it's going to give you a better chance of hitting the ball straight, again, before you've even swung the club. Ideally, we want our club head to be pointing directly at our target. So just imagine we've got a laser firing off the club head, pointing directly towards our target. Now, one way of making sure this stays square is a good grip. Making sure the grip is neutral is key. So let's tick that first. But then from there, it's kind of understanding where we need to put the club head, okay? And this is where I see so many golfers go wrong, because they set the feet down first and then they set the club head square, okay? Which is great, that's pointing to the target as we said. However, the feet are aiming off to the right. This is going to cause us to either swing too far on the inside, leave the club face open, and you can see this is going to go in the wrong way. Or the opposite, we're going to overwork, disconnect the arms and the body, and we're going to swing way far too round. Let's go through the sequence. Club head is first, okay? So we're picking our target, which is the flag all the way in the distance. Let's bring this back now. Let's pick an immediate target just in front of the ball, because it's a lot easier to aim for this than it is for a target which may be 300 to 500-600 yards away up the fairway. From there, we're going to take our step back, make sure we've picked a good line. We've done our practice swings. We're going to take our grip, neutral, as we mentioned before. We're going to set the club head down behind the ball, on line with our immediate target, which is on line with our end target. And now this is the key. We set our feet, our shoulders, our hips parallel to the ball. We don't aim our feet to the target like most golfers do. This needs to run parallel. These two lines never meet. And if they do, then you're going to slice it, hook it, hit it the wrong way without even swinging the club. So let's set these two parallel together to just give you all this room to turn, to keep the club face square, not only at address, but at impact. And you're gonna see the ball fly straight with more distance and more consistency. It's like a cheat code, which if you do every time, it just makes the driver so seamless. And finally, these are just some key pointers that I always think of when it comes to the driver setup. Firstly is the tee height. Make sure that we're using a tee that suits our ball flight best. If you're someone that struggles to get the ball to go high, then maybe use an orange one, because this will lift the ball up slightly more in the air. If you're someone that hits the ball too high, or you just want a nice neutral ball flight, I would suggest the pink Castle tee. This is the one that I use personally, and it's great because the rim here just allows you to put the tee in the ground consistently every time without guessing, because then you've got a normal wooden tee. Now these are great, but sometimes you're guessing if I've gone too far into the ground or am I sat up too tall. So these Castle tees are fantastic for consistency, and it just allows you to create the same ball flight every time. Number two is whereabouts we place our tee down on the tee block. This sounds simple, but from this perspective, if I was to tee off here, if I was to place my tee in the ground here, I set up over the ball, all I can see is this out of bounds on the left. Again, if I was to set my tee off here, again, all I can see is the water on the right. So map the hole out before you even tee the ball in the ground. Use this to your benefit. Use this to allow you to position the ball in places that is going to put you in a good position. Because if I set myself up here, I'm going to go straight in the water, because not only is the fairway dropping down into the water, I've also got it in my eye line. That's all I can think of. So ideally, on this tee, I would place this pretty much bang in the centre. And now that does vary on holes that you're playing on. If you're playing a dog leg off to the right, then place your tee more on the left-hand side, vice versa. So use that to your advantage, map the hole before you even put the ball in the ground, and just think positive about where your target is in the distance. So there we've covered the only driver setup you'll ever need. From ball position, weight distribution, wide stance, distance away from the ball, body alignment, shoulder tilt, sternum, and everything in between, from tee height and to where we need to place the tee on the tee box. If you took value from this video, I would really appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button. It takes 1 second to do and only means you're going to get better at golf. So hit subscribe and I'll see you in the next video.